Hi guys, in this video we are going to implement a functionality for cropping images. So let me show you exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to select an image, and right now what I can do is to select an area that I want to save, and once I press confirm, I have successfully saved and cropped the selected image. So right now I can go to the images, and here is the image that we just saved. So this is exactly what we are going to do in this video tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get started. As a short commercial to this video, I would like to encourage you guys to join the Django Ninjas group. I'm planning to release some content, some free content over here, not only the Django ebook, but also this year I'm planning to release a Django with JavaScript Udemy course. So the members that joined this Django Ninjas group will have it absolutely for free. And at the beginning of next year, I'm planning to release a Django movie recommender. So again, for the members, this tutorial is going to be absolutely for free, and I think it's a good place to share your knowledge, share your articles, share your YouTube videos, write about your experience and stuff like that. So if you have time, if you have Facebook, consider joining to this group, and yeah, we will see each other over there as well. Alright guys, so before we actually move on, let's take a look at, as always, what have I done so far. So I'm in the newly created project called Crop Proj, and I'm at settings.py file. If we scroll down to the installed apps list, I added images. So images is an application created for this project purposes, and we will do some work over there very soon. And if we scroll down, here we have templates, and I told Django where to look for additional ones. So according to those settings, I created a templates directory in the source folder, and I placed over there base HTML. And we will take a look at base HTML in a few seconds. Then if we scroll down, we have some settings for the static and media files. So we will be keeping in the static folder in the base directory favorite icon, main.js, and style CSS. And then we also have a media folder. So whenever a user uploads an image, this is the place where it will be stored. So this is it for the settings.py. Let's proceed and go to the URLs.py file. So here I basically included those settings in the URL patterns for static and media files. And we also have a main view, which is a very simple function view, and we will take a look at it very soon once we go to the views.py file. So here I have main.js, and here I'm just console logging hello world. In style CSS is empty, and then I have base HTML, and here we have the favorite icon, bootstrap CSS, jQuery, but we also have a CDN for the cropper. So we have the cropper min.js and cropper min.css. This will allow us to actually crop images. And yeah, and we have one block, and this is block content, and this is of course for template inheritance purposes. So moving forward, here is our views.py, and here is our main view. So as you can see, it's just an ordinary function view with an empty context dictionary, and it's referring to the template that is placed inside the images application, and it's called main.html. So right now we are passing an empty dictionary to this template, but this will change in a few seconds. And then we have this main.html, and over here we are inheriting from base HTML. We have a block content with hello world. So now we can actually take a look at how this looks like. So we have hello world over here, and also hello world coming from the main.js in the console. Alright guys, so now we can actually jump into images, models.py file, and let's create our model. I'm going to name it image, and this inherits from models.model and we will have two fields. So the first one is going to be called file, and this is going to be a models image field. So be sure to install pillow, pip install pillow, and then upload to is going to be to images. So inside the media folder, we will have another one, images, where all the images that are going to be uploaded and cropped before being uploaded are going to be stored. So we will have file and then another field, uploaded, and this is going to be a models date time field with auto now add is equal to true. And let's provide a string representation, and let's return str self pk. All right, so I'm going to save this and I'm going to jump into admin py. Over here, what we are going to do is to import our image. So from models import image, and we are going to register it so we can actually see it in our admin. So admin site register image. And before we do the migrations, let's also create very quickly the image form. So let's go forms py. Let's create this file, and from Django import forms. And we also want to import our image class. So from .model import image. And here I'm going to create a class that I'm going to name image form, which inherits from forms.model form. And with class meta, I'm going to indicate that the model is going to be image, and the fields are going to be equal file. All right, so now I'm going to save this, go to the terminal, quit the server from running, Python manage py, make migrations, and Python manage py migrate, and Python manage py run server. All right, so now we can go to the admin. I'm going to refresh the page. Here are our images, and I'm going to add one from the admin. So I'm going to head over to the desktop, and I'm going to select this yoga, and I'm going to simply save this. Here is our image. And yeah, right now what we can do is to go to views py, where we are going to import from .models import image, and I'm going to put in obj is equal to image objects get, where the pk is going to be equal 1, and I'm going to pass in this obj to the template, because right now we want to show the cropping functionalities on an image that already exists in the database. So we uploaded one a second ago, and before we actually do the upload functionalities and we'll bring in our form that we created a second ago to this view, let's see if everything is working on this one image that already exists in the database. Hopefully this makes sense. So right now what I'm going to do is to simply save this, and we are going to jump into main HTML. So over here, what we need to do is to get rid of this hello world, and I'm going to create a div with a, or actually ID, which is going to be image box, and inside I'm going to put in the image, so emg src, and over here we need to put in obj file URL, but I'm also going to provide an ID, which is going to be image, and then I'm going to set the width to, let's say, 400 pixels. All right. So yeah, let's see how this works. I'm going to go to our page, refresh, and here is our image. Okay, so right now everything is working. So let's take a look at the cropper documentation. You don't need to worry about the installation part because the CDNs are provided already. So everything should be working. What we need to focus right now is to grab the proper code. So here we have already an div, and inside we already provided this ID image. So I'm just going to grab this piece of code and I'm going to put it inside of our main.js. All right, so I'm going to simply save this. I'm going to make sure that I saved our views PY, our main HTML, and yeah, let's see what do we have over here. I'm going to press Command-Shift-R, and what do you know? We have a cropping functionality right now. We can simply select the part that is interesting from us. We can zoom in and zoom out, but we aren't we didn't provide the logic for simply saving this image in our database. So this is something that we need to take care of right now, and we would like to have it on the confirm button. So we will select a particular area that we want to crop and save. And then once we press the confirm button, it's going to be sent to the database. And if everything goes okay, we would like to also see an alert box with a confirmation that we have successfully saved this piece of image into our database. All right. So in order to do that, we are going to jump first of all to main HTML, and we are going to add some code. So here I'm going to create a div with an ID alert box, and this is going to be for the alerts, of course. Then we will have the image box. I'm going to also provide a class with a margin bottom 3. This image with the source is going to disappear because we want to have a form below this image box. So I'm going to delete this, and as mentioned before, here we are going to put in our form, and this form will have an action equal to blank, and then the ID is going to be equal image form. Let's close it off, and over here let's put in a CSRF token, and we need to put in form as paragraph, and of course we need to pass in this form to the template. We don't have it right now. And then we will have a button with a class equal to btn and btn primary. Also, I'm going to add a margin top 3, and I'm going to add a class that we are going to create in just a second, not visible. So this button won't be visible at first. It will be shown once we select an image, okay? This is going to be ID with confirm btn, and I'm going to put in confirm and close off the button. So right now what we need to do is to go to style CSS and put in this not visible class, and over here we want to put in display and set it to none. Okay, and finally we need to return to our views PY because we are not interested in this obj image object get pk is equal to 1. Instead, we want to have a form where we are actually where we need to actually import our form first. So from forms import image form, and this is going to be image form, and request post or none, and request files or none. Okay, and then we can simply write an if statement. If form is valid, then we are going to simply save the form, and we can return a JSON response. So from Django HTTP, we want to import JSON response. And here I'm going to return this JSON response and put in a message that it works. Okay, so finally we need to put in this form, pass it to the template. So as the key form, we are passing this form over here. All right, so let's hit refresh, and now, as you can see, we see a form and a form only. So again, we need to return to main.js, and let's grab those elements that we defined in our main HTML. So we have alert box, image box, we have our form, we have our confirm btn. So let's grab those elements, and let's just find main.js, and below the console log hello world, let's begin by grabbing the alert box, and this is going to be document get element by ID alert box, and then below we are going to grab the image box. So const image box is going to be equal document get element by ID image box, and we will have an image form. So const image form is going to be equal document get element by ID and image form, and then we have the confirm button. So const confirm btn is going to be equal document get element by ID confirm btn, and we will also want to have a const input. So if we console log our image form, all right, let's see, what do we have? Okay, we have a DOM object, and inside in the paragraph we have input type file, and then we have the name, accept, required, and here we have at the end the ID. So the ID is ID-file. All right, so let's grab this input. Const input is going to be equal document get element by ID, and the ID was ID file. Okay, but we also need to remember about the CSRF token. So I'm going to create a const CSRF, and this is going to be document, and this time get element by name, get elements by name, get elements by name. This is what we are looking for, and here we need to put in CSRF middleware token. Okay, so hopefully we got all the necessary items. However, we don't have the image right now, and this is okay because we want to actually put in an image to the image box whenever we have something in the input. So what we can do right now is to add an event listener on this input. So let's do this. Input and add event listener. So we want to refer to change event, and over here we can console log something for the beginning, and let's put in changed. All right, so I'm going to save this, refresh, select the file, and we have changed over here. All right, so hopefully this is understandable. And as the next step, we can actually grab our image data. So I'm going to create a variable called emg data, and this is going to be input files 0. And for displaying this image that we selected in the browser, we need to create another const. URL is going to be equal URL, and then create object URL and pass in this image data. Okay, so finally we can refer to the image box inner HTML, and over here with the use of backticks we can put in emg src is equal to, and then we need to inject the URL, and let's add an ID equal to the image. And if we move forward, let's also add a width of maybe 500 pixels. 500 pixels, like this. And let's see if this will work. So I'm going to save this, refresh, and there it is. However, we don't see this cropping functionality, and this is because this is actually outside of this add event listener. So if we actually bring it inside, this will work. So let's check this out. Let me just indent this, save, refresh. We need to upload another image. I'm going to select the same one, and there it is. Okay. By the way, if you would like to change this shape over here for cropping, you can change the aspect ratio. So if I put in 9, we will have a square, and let's check this out. So again, I'm going to upload Yoga, and as you can see right now, we are dealing with a square. Okay, so this is something that you might want to play around with. Another thing is that over here we have a selector that is a JQuery selector, and we actually need to use it. So if I create another const, and I'm going to call it image, and this is going to be document get element by ID. Where is it? Get element by ID, image, and over here I'm going to console log the vanilla JS. So I'm going to put in just the JS and image, and below I'm going to console log JQuery, and I'm going to grab this one. Let's save this. Let's hit refresh, select an image, and here is jQuery, and here is the JavaScript. So here we have just a DOM object, but here we have something more. We not only have the DOM object, but if we scroll to the proto, over here we have all the methods associated with this variable that we can actually use. So in this case, we actually need to perform this with a jQuery. Otherwise, we will have an error. because if we put in here instead of image, the vanilla JS image, we will simply have an error, and I'm going to show it to you. And there it is. OnCut type error, image cropper is not a function. So just to keep in mind that JQuery selector and a JavaScript selector aren't the same thing. So in this case, we need to use this one, and I'm going to delete this one. Okay. So I saved main.js, and right now everything should be working as before. So let me select this image, and we have no errors, okay? All right, so as the next step, we want to refer to our confirm button. And on this confirm button, we want to add another add event listener. So let's put in confirm btn add event listener, and this is going to be a click event. And once we click this confirm button, we are going to execute some code. So right now I'm going to put in cropper, and we are going to reference a method called getCropped and canvas. This is in the docs, and then we are going to put in two blob, pass in the blob, and as the next step, we need to create form data. So I'm going to create a const fd that is going to be equal new form data, and we are going to append not only the file itself, but also the CSRF middleware token. So let's put in fd append, and first of all, we will begin with the CSRF middleware token, CSRF middleware token, don't make a mistake, otherwise we will have an error. This is going to be CSRF 0 value. And as the next step, as mentioned before, we need this file. So fd append, we are accepting a file, so this is the name of our field, and over here we are passing the blob, and we need to also provide the name of the file. So I'm just going to put in my image png, and having this, we can actually perform ajax. So let's put in ajax, and I'm going to put in type is going to be set to post. As the next step, we are going to provide the URL, and this is going to be the image form action, and then we will specify the enc type and set it to multi-part and form data. All right, then we will refer to the data itself and set it to form data. And next we will have success. So what will happen on success? Here we will have a function which will take in a response. And first of all, we are going to console log the response. And also we will have an error. Similar situation, function error, and let's console log the error. And then we will have cache, let's set it false. We will have content type, let's set it to false, and process data false. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's see if this is actually working. So what I'm going to do is save the main.js. I'm going to hit refresh over here, select this yoga file, and we forgot about one very important thing, and mainly we need to remove the not visible class. So over here at the top, let's refer to the confirm button. Confirm btn class list, remove, and what we need to remove is this not visible class. All right, so let's save this and let's try it out again. And there is our confirm button. So let's select something like this. I'm going to press confirm, and we have message works. So it actually should be stored in our database, and there it is. As you can see, this is working. So what we can do right now is to make it work a little bit better. So we want to add an alert, and we will begin with this. So I'm going to select an alert of a success, and we need to go back to our ajax and refer to the success over here. Below the console log response, we will have alert box inner HTML, and let's put in this this alert. So I'm just going to put in maybe something like successfully, I think it's with 2L, saved and cropped the image, or the selected image, something like this. Selected image. All right. So this is in case of success. And if something goes wrong, let's also put an alert box inner HTML. Let's place it, but over here, what we need to do is to also change the alert type, let it be red. So we want to put in danger. And let's put in something like, oops, something went wrong. So this is what I'm putting in all my videos in this error area. Oops, something went wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to save this, and yeah, let's check it out again. I'm going to refresh, select a file, and let's go over here this time. Maybe let's make it a little bit bigger. Maybe let's grab the birds as well. Something like this. Confirm, and there we have it. Successfully saved and cropped the selected image. So let's go to images. And there it is. So this is working quite nice. Let's select another one. And we still have this successfully saved and cropped the selected image. So what we can do next is do a reset over here. So every time the input changes, we will actually reset our alert box. So let's put an alert box inner HTML and set it to blank. So let's try it out again. I'm going to select this image. The images, by the way, are from Pixabay. Confirm. And then I'm going to select another one. And the alert is gone. Confirm. Successfully saved and cropped the selected image. So over here, let's see how they are saved. Perfect. And perfect. All right, guys, so I think we can finish off over here. I think we've done everything that I planned for this tutorial. The source code will be placed in the description or the comment pinned to this video. And yeah, have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.